I vibe coded an infinite canvas this weekend. So this is an infinite canvas that allows you to put different cards you have made along the time, and you guys have all seen examples of this that I've created, such as the quiz app or the beat maker and the photos. Obviously, Boxel is a database-driven system, so you can always be able to load up the information in a grid, so you can see all the images that was able to use the AI photo studio, which I use voice dictation to drive, and I make pictures of cats, of influencers, and hot air balloons. But you don't always have to view these messages and view these assets in the way of a grid. You can use the fact that you can vibe code a alternate user interface to organize your information. So what I did here is to emulate a FigJam or Figma type of application, which has a grid line. You can scroll around, you can zoom in and out. And what's in here are actual cards that are independent of this application. So these are things that you have vibe coded, things from the catalog, things that you take from someone else. So I made a Zora video player, and these are the video I've generated on Zora before they nerfed it. So this is Bob Ross going to shop at Ross.
Sometimes you don't go looking for anything special. You just let it find you. This little cardigan looks like it could keep a lot of folks warm on a cool evening. Nice quiet color, soft as a cloud.
That's absolutely something I would buy just because I trust him. And meanwhile, George Carlin subbed in for Bob for art of painting.
Okay, folks, Bob called in sick, so you get me instead. No happy little anything, just whatever this is. Yeah, that's supposed to be a tree. Looks like a broom that got mugged. Let's give it a sky.
So the idea here is that any applications that want to write to the realm, write to the workspace, can also be linked to in these boards. And most importantly, if you update this or anybody else update it, it will update on your board completely live and synchronized. So we have these images we've created. So I have a couple of studio campaign. One was around this influencer shooting at the venue with a hot air balloon, a cat, and a red carpet event starring Emma Stone. So these cards are embedded in here through the embedded format, so it's the EMB, but you can also open it up and see the full view and see where it's coming from and the prompt that generated it in the first place. So each one of these cards are individually their own thing, but they're just brought into this compound document, which itself is under your control. And these are all generated by Nano Banana using different types of tools and prompts that we have a demo and will demo in the future. Remember, we had a pretty popular video around the beat maker. The entire beat maker itself can be embedded here, and then you can actually play it. So any application you build can be part of another application through this embedding system, which we call delegated rendering. And that's very unique in our platform. It's not that you're building these separate vibe coder apps that stand alone, but you're actually building a suite of tools that you can use independently, but you can also bring it together to create something greater. Now, we have the ability to deal with theming, and we'll get to more details about this. So this is an IKEA theme embedded here, and you can edit the IKEA theme by extracting different variables, setting different color, and uploading different types of logos. But once you have this, you can copy this yellow color and use it as a post-it note or whatever you want to be. And as I was looking at IKEA, I realized that IKEA released a bunch of very interesting historical artifacts, which are these pages from their old catalogs. And I actually have a copy of it. And if you search for IKEA, you can open up the IKEA Museum catalog. So this is a page of the IKEA catalog that we loaded in from the 1959 catalog. You can actually browse it and see, mostly Swedish, written different elements of the chairs that was sold at the mid-century time of the era. And I was particularly drawn to this particular chair. So I took a screenshot of this chair, and I actually used the AI model that we're going to integrate into the Boxel platform to generate this modern revival of this chair. What's cool about this is that this is actually a 3D model that was generated with a mesh that was derived from this one single 2D picture. And as you can see here, the Boxel platform supports all kind of media asset, including 3D asset that you can create. So when you're generating asset, you can take this as an input, this little selected box as an input, and you can go and use an AI, and that's coming in the future, where you can just wire together any type of workflow to connect to this, and when you update that, it updates the model. And it's all under the background. And you can use your infinite canvas as a way to keep track of that information. As you can imagine, we also have the ability to report on things that's already happened before. I think I took a quiz around NBA, and I took another quiz here. I didn't get 100%. So I can go ahead and say, oh, I got 80%, 4 out of 5 this last time, see if I can do it better. And you can resume where you are. Let me see if I can get this right. I think it's bonds. Ant-Man, quantum realm. Maybe this one? Okay, I got it all correct. And when this is correct, it persists to the information. And now if you look at that, it updates this particular embedded view to 100%. So this directivity of data where things are synchronized is unique to our platform. And it's done across application and cards and fields, any type of artifact you created. We have this underlying synchronization engine backed by a database that is reactive. They call it functional reactive, and it's keeping everything up to date. You can make your own widget, so you can insert a new countdown clock widget with a timer and stuff like that. And one very popular widget is obviously a note widget, and you can create a note, and you can type other notes in here. Hello table of contents. And then you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these things are all available for you to use as part of this system. And my hope is that by giving users examples of cardboard, if they have a workflow they have in mind, and they say, I would really like to be able to use a Figma type of interface to organize my work, then you can use this as a starting point. But every single thing that's in here remain independently accessible, and you can still load it separately from everything else and use it as an independent part of the application. But this composability is extremely unique to our platform, and I can't wait to show you how we can wire this up together and using our command model to allow for these propagation of AI processes that creates workflow that's not only incredibly powerful and agentic, but completely visual and understandable for regular users. So until next time, take care.